Okay, we're back here on the Baseball Limited post-game wrap. San Francisco Dons, your University of San Francisco Dons, champions of the West Coast Conference, dropping a 4-3 decision against the UC Irvine Anteaters from the Big West Conference. So tomorrow is a big game for San Francisco. We are assuming that the probable starter for the Dons will be left-handed junior Jordan Reamer. He's going to be on the mound tomorrow. It's a big game for the Dons. Their backs are definitely to the wall. They'll play UCLA again. And a reminder, the loser of this game, they are out. They'll be going home. So it's all from here on out for San Francisco. It is all or nothing. The winner, tomorrow's winner for the losers bracket will take on UC Irvine later tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And USF will have to win again. Then they would have to, if they have to beat UC Irvine on Sunday to force a decisive game, if necessary, the decisive game for the winner take all for the regional will be on Monday night. So the Dons, I think, they've been through this before. All time in the elimination games for San Francisco in the regional, they're 1-1. Remember, they eliminated Nebraska Cornhuskers back 5 years ago. They were the number 1 seed out of that region. In fact, they were the national 8th seed. A lot of people had them picked to possibly go to Omaha for the College World Series. They eliminated Nebraska USF 5-1. Great pitching performance by former USF Don left-handed pitcher Aaron Pereda, who's currently now with the San Diego Padres system. So we're going to also tonight wrap around the baseball scoreboard for this Saturday night, and we've got some finals in. We're just going to go directly to the scoreboard before we get out of Dodge for the evening. In the American League earlier, it was the Oakland A's or the Boston Red Sox. 14 innings, Red Sox win 9-8 on a walk-off hit by J.D. Drew, the former Florida State star. In that game, Jason Varitek and Red Sox closer Jonathan Papelbon were both ejected for arguing balls and strikes. And also, while Papelbon, while he was confronting the umpire, actually made some contact, which is an absolute no-no. And most likely he'll be getting a phone call from the commissioners, a call home from the commissioner's office. There's a good chance that he will be suspended. So we'll look into more of that when that is more news with that when it develops. So Red Sox beat the A's. The A's have lost 6 in a row. The Mariners and Rays up in the Pacific Northwest, that's a final 3-2 Tampa Bay over Seattle. We're trying to get the scores. 3-2 Tampa over. We're just trying to. We're having some technical problems. We're just going to give you the scores up front, though, because when we're trying to scroll, just apologize with the computer. It's just giving us a hard time. So the best we could do is just give you do what we can do. So we're just going to go around the league. Around the league for all the scores. That was a final in 14 innings. Red Sox over the A's by a score of 9-8. The A's winner came back and tied at the bottom of the ninth. Andrew Bailey, the Red Sox or the A's were 1 strike for winning it. A double by Jared Saltalamacchia, and then a RBI hit by former Stanford great Jed Lowry to tie that ball game up. So other scores: Cardinals over the Cubs 5-4 in 12 innings out at AT&T Park in San Francisco earlier today. Giants dropping a 2-1 decision over the Rockies. Dodgers beat the Reds up at Great American Park in Cincinnati 11-8, 11 innings. Tampa over Seattle 3-2. The Pirates, for the second time, beat the Phillies at PNC Park in Pittsburgh 6-3 in a battle of the Keystone PA rights of Pennsylvania. Texas shuts out the Tribe tonight 4-0. And Baltimore defeats Toronto 5-3. Also, the Mets shut out the Braves 5-0. Detroit Tigers over the White Sox 4-2. Milwaukee over Florida 3-2 down in South Florida. The Twinkies, the Minnesota Twins, over the Royals 7-2. The Nationals and Diamondbacks, Arizona keeps on the roll. They're back in first place, 2-0 over the Nationals. Padres over the Astros by a score of 6-3. And it was the Yankees over the Angels down in Anaheim near Disneyland, close to John Wayne Airport, but nowhere to be found in Southern California. Yankees over the Halos 3-2. Well, that's going to do it tonight on the Baseball Unlimited USF San Francisco Dons post-game wrap. San Francisco dropping a 4-3 decision over the UC Irvine Anteaters from the Big West. The Dons, it's a must-win situation. They'll take on UCLA. They've already beaten them once. They win tomorrow night, or win tomorrow afternoon. The winner of that game will take on UC Irvine later that evening at 6. And the winner of that game has to beat UC Irvine. The extra game for the regional championship will be played on Monday if necessary. So right now, UC Irvine's in the driver's seat. They need to win one of two. They win tomorrow night, they'll win the regional. If not, a decisive game will be on Monday night. So for everybody here, the Dons, they're going to have to regroup. Their backs are to the wall now. It's all or nothing for San Francisco the rest of the way because it's sudden death for your University of San Francisco Dons. They've been through this situation before, and we're not going to wave up the white flag because these guys are going to they're going to die hard, and keep on believing because anything can happen. Once again, the final score tonight, San Francisco Dons, the champions of the West Coast Conference, were defeated by the UC Irvine Anteaters from the Big West Conference tonight down at Jackie Robinson Stadium on the campus of Westwood, UCLA, down in Los Angeles, California, in the LA Regional. The UC Irvines 4, your San Francisco Dons 3. Have a good night, everybody. Until 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, we'll have our pregame report. Before first pitch, we'll have our post-game wrap. Hopefully, if the Dons win tomorrow, we'll have a post-game, have a break in the action with the first of a post-game recap, and we'll go to the second game. Hopefully they win tomorrow because if they do, they'll play later in the evening at 6 p.m. For everybody here, this is Brian Professor B. Davis signing off. And like I always say, stay firmly grounded and keep reaching for the stars. And go Dons! Have a good night, everybody. You're watching the USF Dons Baseball Unlimited post-game wrap on YouTube.